Welcome to today's explainer. I am just absolutely amazed to share the sheer, astonishing density of global observances falling on literally one single day. We are looking ahead on the calendar to June 27, 2026. Normally, when we think of a global observance, we kind of picture this single, unified theme, right? Like something capturing the whole world's attention for 24 hours. But the reality of our modern, interconnected world is that our priorities are vast, they're complex, and they're incredibly diverse. When we actually strip back the layers of this specific date, June 27, 2026, what we find is a calendar date bursting at the seams with overlapping, highly distinct international focus areas. It's a day that perfectly encapsulates this wonderfully chaotic spectrum of human interest, all just stacked right on top of each other. So what makes June 27, 2026 so incredibly packed? Let's dive into this. We really have to ask why this specific date delivers such an unbelievable whiplash of global focus and celebration. Seriously, how does one single rotation of the Earth manage to host such a bizarre and brilliant collision of topics? As we unpack the source material today, I really want you to keep this question in the back of your mind. It's not just about what we're observing, but the absolute sheer variety of it. We're going to see how global organizations designate these days to draw our attention to totally different facets of life. And on this day in 2026, those facets are going to pull us in wildly different directions. June 27th, global perspective. To truly understand this, we need to zoom out. We have to take a global perspective and look at the staggering variety of causes the world has decided to highlight all at once under the umbrella of global observances. You see, these aren't just your local holidays. These are international recognitions meant to transcend borders and unite populations in awareness, celebration, or, well, sometimes scientific concern. Taking a global perspective means acknowledging that while one half of the world might be focused on agriculture and sweetness, another is laser-focused on local economies, and yet another is tackling public health. June 27, 2026 gives us an incredible microcosm of what the global community actually values. Okay, International Pineapple Day. We start the calendar off with something delicious, bright, and universally recognized. Yes, this iconic tropical fruit gets its very own day on the global stage. Historically, a symbol of hospitality and luxury, the pineapple has evolved into an absolute global agricultural juggernaut. It's a day to celebrate the farmers who cultivate them, the incredible global supply chains that bring them to our local grocery stores, and of course, the sheer joy of just eating them. It is such a vibrant, upbeat way to kick off our packed schedule of observances. Nature, food, and beverages. This brilliantly illustrates how the day kicks off by strictly honoring the categories of nature as well as food and beverages. Because when we talk about International Pineapple Day, we aren't just talking about a tasty snack, right? We are recognizing its place within nature, the botany, the highly specific tropical climates required to grow it, and the agricultural science that literally sustains it. Simultaneously, it firmly anchors itself in the food and beverages category. I mean, the culinary applications are endless. Driving massive global economic activity in the food sector, it's really a perfect synthesis of natural wonder and culinary delight. Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Day. Now prepare for a massive tonal shift as we pivot to our next global observance. Talk about a pivot. We go from the breezy, sweet celebration of a tropical fruit straight into the highly structured, critically important world of global commerce and entrepreneurship. But, this is exactly what makes June 27, 2026 so incredibly fascinating. The world doesn't just stop for fruit. It also pauses to recognize the hardworking individuals and small teams that keep the gears of the entire global economy turning. Let's clearly define what this means. We are talking about the economic backbone of our communities worldwide. This is a massive shift from tropical fruit, for sure. Micro, small, and medium enterprises, often abbreviated as MSMEs, are independent businesses that maintain revenues, assets, or employees below a certain threshold. Think about your local coffee shops, the independent software developers, the family-run manufacturing shops. They account for the vast majority of businesses worldwide and act as the crucial engines of the global economy. By dedicating an international day to them, the global community is validating their immense contribution to society and really focusing attention on the unique challenges they face in a complex globalized market. Technology and communication, education and history. This specific observance bridges incredibly important professional domains. It directly impacts the categories of technology and communication, alongside education and history. Think about it. MSMEs are often at the absolute cutting edge of technology and communication, rapidly innovating and adapting digital tools to reach their customers and streamline their operations. But at the exact same time, they are deeply rooted in education and history. Many small businesses are generational.
They're passing down historical craftsmanship and institutional knowledge, while also serving as foundational training grounds. They are essentially educating the next generation of the global workforce.
This builds a fascinating contrast arc, doesn't it? On the left side, we have International Pineapple Day, delicious, sweet, celebratory. On the right side, we have International Ragweed Day, clinical, itchy, and totally serious. In one breath, we have the joy and sweetness of pineapples, and in literally the next breath, we have something that makes millions of people worldwide absolutely dread going outside. It is a phenomenal juxtaposition. The calendar, well, it doesn't care about thematic consistency. It cares about drawing human attention to what matters. And sometimes what matters is understanding the exact things that make us sneeze. International Ragweed Day. That's right, June 27th is also officially International Ragweed Day. Now, while it might sound kind of strange to have a day dedicated to a pesky weed, the implications are massively important. Ragweed is literally one of the most prolific producers of pollen and a leading cause of seasonal allergies globally. This observance isn't a celebration of the plant, obviously. Instead, it's a totally critical day for raising awareness about the rising public health burden of respiratory allergies, the changing geographical spread of the plant, and the desperate need for better allergy management. Medical and science. So the crucial point here is that this observance demands attention in entirely different fields, strictly falling under the medical and science categories to address global allergy research. International Ragweed Day mobilizes the medical community to share best practices for treating severe allergic rhinitis and asthma triggered by this pollen. Simultaneously, it relies heavily on the science category, specifically environmental science and botany. They need to study how factors like climate change and extended growing seasons are impacting ragweed proliferation. It's a day deeply rooted in vital, rigorous research meant to improve the daily lives of millions of people. Just imagine your schedule on this day trying to honor all of these mandates. Let's look at this timeline. At 8 a.m., you're having breakfast, enjoying a slice of tropical fruit to honor nature in the food and beverages sector. By 12 p.m., you're buying lunch from an independent startup cafe to support micro, small, and medium enterprises day, engaging with tech and education. And by 4 p.m., well, after spending all that time outside, you might just be reaching for your allergy medication as you acknowledge International Ragweed Day, firmly anchoring your afternoon in medical science. It's an exhausting, exhilarating timeline of human priorities. A wonderfully diverse day. It is genuinely amazing how much human experience, from sustenance to commerce to healthcare, is packed into a single 24-hour global rotation. What this incredible day on the calendar shows us is that our world is deeply, beautifully multifaceted. We have the capacity to celebrate the simple, natural joy of a pineapple, rigorously support the economic engines of our small businesses, and tackle serious scientific and medical challenges like global allergies, all at the exact same time. It is a true testament to the incredible breadth of human endeavor and international cooperation. So, how will you balance pineapples, enterprises, and ragweed on June 27, 2026? I leave you with this final thought for our explainer today. Mark your calendars because balancing all these wildly different global observances is going to be a brilliantly busy day. When June 27, 2026 finally arrives, which of these global priorities will demand your attention first? Will you be celebrating nature's sweetness, championing the local economy, or diving into medical science? The beauty of it all is you don't have to choose just one. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and keep seeking out the fascinating structures hidden in our everyday world.